For centuries, Iseyin in southwestern Nigeria has been at the center of Aso Ofi weaving, keeping a tradition alive that reflects Yoruba culture and identity. Today, that way of life is undergoing pressure.
What we have to deal with is explaining to clients, because ẹlòmíì máa sọ pé ṣé ó ju aṣọ òkè lọ ni, kí ló tó ṣe wá wọ́n báyìí, you know. Before you can buy a bundle of aṣọ òkè 4,000 naira, as low as 3,500. But now if you are buying a bundle of aṣọ òkè, depends, we have 35, 40, 50, upwards 60,000 naira. Sure, you understand? And when the China produce, you know, it will beat down the price very low.
Importation yẹn bá ti ń wáyé tó ti ń jẹ́ pé comparison yẹn ti ń meet up pẹ̀lú èyí tá à ń ṣe rí yóò pa iṣẹ́ wa lára gan.
And they will even use your own original picture to sell their own products. So it will be difficult when you tell a client that the aṣọ òkè they've seen on a Chinese website maybe for 20,000 naira, and you are calling the aṣọ òkè 60,000 naira. It will look like you are overcharging them.
Aso Ofi has traditionally been worn during significant life events such as weddings, festivals, and ceremonial occasions. The fabric is produced through a time-intensive manual process that involves sorting cotton, spinning thread, and setting up the loom. Weaving a single piece can take several days.
Aso Ofi ṣíṣe kìí ṣe iṣẹ́ ọjọ́ kan, ó dẹ̀ gba iṣẹ́ làákàyè nípa pé a kọ́kọ́ wò irú aṣọ wo la fẹ́ ṣe, irú aṣọ tá bá fẹ́ ṣe yẹn a wá ohun èlò rẹ̀ which is materials. A bá ra materials rẹ̀, òun ni títa. Lẹ́yìn títa a máa bọ́ sí wíwun. Lẹ́yìn wíwun lẹ́yìn a wá máa kó lọ fún àwọn amúnidára which is tailor, wípé ọ̀yá àrà báyìí ni ẹ fi bá ẹni yìí fi aṣọ yìí ṣe, bí agbádá, bí síkì, àtàwọn oríṣiríṣi àrà tí wọ́n lè fi dá ní àtọ̀dọ̀ tiwọn. So yẹ ni oríṣiríṣi dẹ̀ ní Aso Ofi la lè fi dá lára. A lè mú àwọ̀ bíi méjì àti mẹ́ta which is colour. A lè mú colour mẹ́rin, a lè mú colour márùn, ká kó gbogbo ẹ̀ papọ̀ sójú kan ká fi ṣe aṣọ fún yàn. Ó sì lè jẹ́ colour kan.
In recent years, Aso Ofi has moved beyond local celebrations. Designers in Nigeria and the diaspora have reimagined it for modern fashion, turning it into jackets, pants, dresses, and even bridal wear. Demand has grown across borders, with finished textiles exported to markets in Europe, North America, and the Caribbean. Between 2023 and 2024, its export value grew by about 15%, reaching $120 million. Places like Iseyin, Oyo, and Ilorin remain major production hubs, supporting over 50,000 artisan jobs and helping to keep this traditional craft economically relevant today. This global attention has brought visibility and income, but it has also opened the door to a damaging shift. Chinese-made Aso Ofi, produced in factories and sold at much lower prices, have begun flooding the Nigerian market. For buyers focused on affordability, the difference is easy to ignore, but for local weavers, it is impossible to escape.
If you see it, definitely you know this is not hand woven, this is the hand woven.
Ìgbà òjò gbà lọ̀rọ̀ imported Aso Ofi jẹ́. Ṣé mọ̀ pé tí wọ́n bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ojúlówó, tẹ́yìn náà bá gbé aṣọ lọ́wọ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé lè náà ni wọ́n bá ń sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ aṣọ Iseyin àti aṣọ Ìlọrin kò papọ̀. Ká tó wá àwa tá a jọ jẹ́ èdè ara wa, ẹ̀yà ara wa tá a jọ mọ̀ nìyẹn. Ká tó wá lé ẹnìkan wá ní òun fẹ́ fi machine ṣe, kò sí ní ọwọ́ lẹ́tì mọ̀.
Artisans say the influx has changed the market. Hand-woven Aso Ofi, which reflects days of labor and rising material costs, now competes with mass-produced copies that sell for a fraction of the price. The result is falling sales for local producers and growing uncertainty about how long the craft can remain economically viable. Weavers also worry about what is being lost culturally. Authentic Aso Ofi carries meaning in its patterns, colors, and texture, details shaped by history and community. Factory-made versions reduce the fabric to a look rather than a legacy.
Tí ò bá sí aṣọ òfì nílùú ìlú táwa wà yìí, ọ̀pọ̀ èèyàn ni ó ti kúrò ní ẹni tí ó ní iṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́, tí ó ti fọ́n káàkiri lórí à ń wá jíjẹ mímu kiri. Àmọ́ nípasẹ̀ aṣọ òfì tọ́lọ́run fún wa, ó jẹ́ kó kálukú lè dúró, à ṣe lè ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọkùnrin níbikíbi àti ní àyíkáyé tá bá bára wa. So aṣọ òfì kò ní aṣọ lásán lọ́dọ̀ tiwa, ó jẹ́ ohun agbára.
It's still us that we can guide our heritage from the production to the weavers. There's no ọgbọ́n tó tẹ̀lé dá lórí weaving. Weaving aspect will go about weaving because ẹni láti dá òwú tẹ máa tá.
In 2012, Nigerian weavers protested the growing presence of imported replicas in the market. But more than a decade later, the concerns remain largely unresolved. While global fashion continues to celebrate Aso Ofi as a luxury or statement fabric, the people who make it by hand say they are being pushed to the margins of their own industry. Some producers are adapting, experimenting with new materials, colors, and collaborations to meet changing demand. Others are holding tightly to traditional methods, hoping that education and awareness will help buyers understand the difference between what is woven by hand and what is made in factories.
What I've been doing to stand out among my peers and to break the head of the economy that you will not overcome me is always think outside the box. I always want to make, even if they are saying applicable design is what is in vogue, Ayola should not follow what is trending. Do your own. Do your own design that it will be outstanding. Like this design now, you can never find it anywhere. House of Ashoke is the first person that did it. I created it 2025 December period. When people are thinking about how can I get a Ashoke that is not common, they will think about it. So I think that is what has been helping me.
As Aso Ofi moves from local looms to global runways, the real question is who benefits from that journey. Without deliberate support for local production, the craft risks being stripped from the people who sustain it. For weavers and sellers whose livelihoods depend on Aso Ofi, this is an economic debate. The survival of the craft will determine whether local markets continue to thrive or are slowly pushed aside in favor of cheaper copies that leave communities with little to show for a global success built on their labor.